What's up everyone? So today I got the Crosstour CT9300 action camera. We're going to go over its features, its price point, and whether or not it's a good camera. So let's get into this review and see what it's all about. You have the user manual, and then you have your thank you card. You have your camera in a waterproof case. We'll go over why. And then you have the accessories, okay? You have a door that's vented, so then that way you can get better audio, okay? You have a camera button, so this allows you to actually record or take pictures, which is awesome. We'll get into why it's a good idea to get one of those. But this one actually comes with it. You have a skeletonized cage, or a cage that's just rim the perimeter of your camera. It just takes that and basically encompasses your camera just like the GoPro. You have a strap for your play button, play, pause, take pictures. You have this arm with the actual thumb screw. Okay, you have another arm with the thumb screw, so you could configure it however you want. Okay, whether or not you want it like this or extend it short, whatever, you got that option. You have another arm with the thumb screw. Okay, you have this piece right here that allows it to be adjusted and then set down just like a tripod. Okay, but it's also on those connectors like how the GoPros are. All right, so you have all those. You have one self stickum mounts. You have another one. You have a round tube mount, or for like bicycle handlebars. You have that option. You have this J-frame style mount. You have your charging cable. This is a micro USB, which everyone typically has these. And then you have two of these batteries, okay? So this battery is a 3.7 volt, 1050 milliamp, 3.885 watt hours. Okay, so you get two of these with the camera. I currently put one in here, so that's why you don't see it. And that's all you get, okay? But everything's laid out perfectly nice, and it could go back in as such. So it's definitely cool that you get all those accessories, you know, that I displayed. But the biggest accessory that I like and I gravitated to is the actual remote. Okay, you have a camera button, you have a video record button. You push the camera button, it lights up red. Okay, you press the record button, it lights up blue. So even in the dark, if you press this, you could still see it display, which is cool because GoPro charges an arm and a leg for a remote. Okay, this comes with it. Everything in the package for that price, it comes with it, which is cool. Because for the same price you pay for a GoPro remote, you could buy this whole camera setup and get everything you need, which is really, really good. Okay, and it's a 4K camera. You might be wondering, why is this so important, right? Well, it's important in a sense of if you want to mount this camera on a tripod or further away from you, and you need to pause or take pictures or whatever, or record a video, but you don't want to have to keep walking back and forth to activate this, you could just use this button and do so. GoPro has the option to say okay GoPro or whatever, record, and do those things, voice activate it. But I mean, if you're on the beach and you're not near your camera, this is a good option. That's why GoPro sells, you know, the remotes. Also, if you're into like any type of sports, like say paintballing or motorcycle riding, whatever, you could have this on your wrist, strapped to your wrist. You're able to activate it, you know, without having to reach for your camera and trying to figure out where the button is. You could easily make that accessible on your wrist. And then if it's dark because you're playing, say, a milsim game of paintball or something, or airsoft, you just click this and it's only going to light up. And if you don't know which button you selected, you can know, or you could see the indication by the color itself. So that's a good feature. Okay, so for the actual perimeter of the camera, you have a HD out, you have a USB charging port, you have your SD card, micro SD card accessibility right there. You have buttons to navigate, you have a power button, and you have a record, okay, select, whatever you want to call it button. Okay, and then at the bottom down here you have your battery. So flip that open, it's spring loaded. Okay, this is a lightweight camera, by the way. And then you have where your battery goes in. Okay, just put it in there like that, just like a GoPro, and slide it and it locks. Alright, so now let's turn it on. I like leaving the screen protector on because it's a matte finish, so it doesn't pick up fingerprints, which is pretty neat. Okay, you have a speaker grill on the side here, and then another little hole right there, and then another one on top. Okay, you want to power it up right here. It greets you, and you power up with the blue little LED. And as you can see, everything's there. Okay, so it gives you a little chime, tells you how much battery, tells you your TF cards in there, tells you your record time up there. Typically when you set this up, it's going to actually run you through the menu of setup, you know, date, time, all that stuff. Okay, so the menu itself is really self-explanatory. The only thing that you need to understand is how this is represented. Okay, so first of all, let's go over the resolution. So you click resolution, and you could just, it's really responsive. Okay, you just select through any of these, and I think this navigation menu is super self-explanatory. I mean, if you have no like recollection of like any type of, so to navigate through the actual menu, you have this button over here which allows you to play back your videos. Okay, you can delete them, whatever. Tells you the resolution and stuff at which it was filmed at. A lot of cheaper cameras, it doesn't allow you to select things that fast. It takes time to load. Even the GoPro takes a little while to load some of these. Okay, as far as the resolution, everything's self-explanatory. Okay, except for these settings, and I'll get to those in a little bit. But resolution, you click and everything's laid out like really self-explanatory. It's pretty nicely laid out, and it's super responsive. Okay, so if you haven't had any experience with any type of action cameras, I would recommend a layout like this. I mean, it doesn't get any simpler than that, right? And then you got EIS, which is electronic image stabilization. It says turn on and then check mark. That means you got electronic stabilization on. Okay, if you select it, it says turn off electronic stabilization, and as you can see, there's no check mark there. What I thought was when you select it, it would turn it off. So in my mind, I would read that as electronic stabilization's on, select that, and it'll turn it off. So keep that in mind when actually using this camera. It's a little weird in that aspect of things, but I mean, it is what it is. So you would read the rest of these things like distortion correction the same exact way. So basically, if you select it, that means you're turning it on, not turning it off. Okay, you have white balance options, you have exposure options, you have metering mode. Okay, so you could set that, sharpness, video quality, your ISO, and that basically is for like light, dark, or you could turn it to auto like I have. You could do watermark. Okay, turn that off for time. Okay, audio record. Okay, and then diving mode. So that diving mode should play with some of the colors for when you're in the water. You go to the settings. So as you can see here, these are the menus. Okay, go to settings. You got image rotation. So if you flip this, it'll automatically update. You got Wi-Fi option. You got Wi-Fi information, reset Wi-Fi. So if you forget, you just reset it back to default. Your light source you know, you got all these options. LED indicators, so that way you could see the LED here. And that's an indicator if this is on or off. So if you select that and you see this little blue light, you know when it says turn on check mark, that means that it's activating those settings, okay? So if you forget, that's one thing to look at. Auto screensaver, you could set that. You got auto power off, so it'll turn off like within a certain amount of time of inactivity. Beeping sound, I got it on high, so you could lower that or turn it off. Language, time and date, and you could set all that, set that. You could format your device, which as soon as I plugged in my SD card, I would have to format it. And then device information, and then default settings, so if you want to go back to normal. Select the bottom of the screen here, like so. You get a menu you can navigate through as well, so you don't have to go to the settings, and you could also select everything you already have set up, okay, which is pretty neat. And then you have the ability to zoom in and zoom out, okay, and that's navigated through the top and the bottom for photos. So if I wanted to zoom in 4 times, I could zoom in, as you could see, 4 times, and then zoom out. I could zoom out, select this, and I could go back to video. So if I have presets already done, everything's ready to rock and roll. One of the things that I noticed is, as you can see, the front display screen is not displaying, okay? You might think, well, I got a crappy unit, right? This is no good. Well, the way to get that front screen to display, and I found this out through trial and error, is you hold down this back power button, or the down button, my bad. You hold this down, okay, so you activate it. As you can see, you hold it down for a few seconds, it goes into this mode, and then boom, you have your front display mode. For your recording, everything records fine. You see everything up here, which you would see on the back of the display. And then you do the same thing, you hold it down for a few seconds, the down button, and then it will go back to normal. And then you'll see the actual little buffering lines. You'll see it on the front, and then you hold it down again, you'll see those appear there, and then it'll pop up over there. So don't think your unit's bad. At first glance, I thought I had a bad unit because I'm used to the GoPro displaying on both, but maybe there's a setting to display both at the same time. I'm not sure. I just stumbled across that feature, so keep that in mind. You need to download the app if you want to use your phone, okay, and that's going to be the XDV Pro. And when doing so, you need to also enable your Wi-Fi and locate this camera, but also your location of the camera. And then of course it pops up there. The password is 12345678890. So you select the camera and it'll continue loading like so, and it'll load, and then everything will be displayed. So some of the minor issues that I encounter is any GoPro accessories, like this buckle system for GoPro, it does not pair up with this Crosstour platform. As you can see, it bottoms out right there. It doesn't allow these things to collapse. That's an issue. If you have any GoPro stuff that you want to make it cross compatible with, but that's an easy fix. You just swap out the buckle with the GoPro buckle and be done with it. Or you could try to shave off some of this, okay, to allow these fingers to collapse a little bit more. So that's a minor issue. I think my biggest gripe is the fact that I could only put a 64 gig SD card, micro SD card in here, okay, and you gotta pull that out. So this doesn't come with it, which is okay, but a 64 gig SD card's the only size that could fit in here as far as having a large SD card. And to me that's an issue, because if you're filming at those higher frame rates like 4K or 120 frames a second, that could be an issue for you because you're going to run out of storage pretty fast. Okay. So I'm going to do a few run samples with this audio too, so you could see what it looks like when I'm running. So pay attention to the horizon of the fence. Okay. Okay, so for the verdict, do I recommend this camera? Yes, I do. If you're in that budget range of that $100 or below, this is a really good value for your money. Don't expect image stabilization to be outstanding like the GoPro, but this camera in general, for general purpose use and not, you don't have in back of your mind, you know, destroying it. This is a great action camera to keep on your person and not care about it, okay? So that's going to complete today's video on the Crosstour CT9300. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It's greatly appreciated. If you want to see content like this and other content I'll be posting in the near future, consider subscribing. Until next time, I'll see y'all in the next one. Thanks for watching.